Jonathan came from Middletown, New York to be here tonight.
Wow, that's right there.
That's right there, right there. Right there. But ladies and gentlemen, this young lady here was witness to a great transgression. She saw my act. She heard my act. She laughed at my act. And then was surprised to hear someone else call it misogynistic. Ladies and gentlemen, please, a warm round of applause. How do you say your first name again? Ladies and gentlemen, Elaine Wing!
Brand. Oh, Brand.
Callback.
Okay.
Just that easy.
It's a callback, and I'm not aware of it.
Well. I see that we have the judge that voted me least likely in Westchester. Nice to see you, Judge. Give me another chance. You were the judge when I didn't win. At Westchester Comedy Competition. Chips. Yeah. Forgive me for that time. I talked about being Jewish. They didn't like that. It was a bar. Oh, I get it. I'm doing that again. Anyway, you're probably wondering, is that the love child of Barbara Streisand and Barry Manilow up there? So I am Jewish, and I am in a bar in Clifton, New Jersey, and Clifton stands out in my mind for one big reason. My first husband had a really romantic lunchtime extravaganza in Clifton. Unfortunately, it wasn't with me.
No!
It was with Roseanne, and she ended up being his second wife. And when I saw I was going to Clifton, that memory came along, and I thought of what punchline I could say. And the one I thought of was almost it was a little better than that one. But, you're supposed to think it was with me. So anyway, I was there when I met John, and unfortunately he and the lady who ran the show didn't get along. And that's not that funny, but I did feel for him, because you like to feel welcome like he's making me feel welcome. But that's not what I came to talk about, Chips. Thank you. And I don't know if I came further than Middletown, New York. I came from Queens. I am from Long Island, and I live in Queens, and I'll tell you a little. You're from there? Great. What town? Great. I'll talk about that maybe if I could think of something. And I just want to address a few of the things that were mentioned tonight. Like, for example, that other fella, this first comedian, said to you, do you like cooch or something? I mean, I didn't understand what he meant. Why would he say that? He said to you, he pointed to you like, why is he asking that? You met your husband on the internet, you know what I mean? Like, talk to a man and ask that. I don't even know, I don't use that word cooch. I'm a school teacher. I was a school teacher. I don't have to work. We just got a raise. I sit home, I watch the Kardashians all day. You probably all hate me. I'm getting a raise, but I don't use that word. But I think I know what it means. But I'm interested. You said you met your husband on the internet. He was 60 years old. I would love to meet someone on the internet. I'm afraid it would be a hatchet murder, just my luck. That's what I'm afraid of. You know, you meet them you meet in a mutual place, you meet in a diner, and you meet that way. But then you meet somewhere, and then eventually, I'm just afraid. Well, I'll talk to you about it, Linda, and you'll encourage me. But anyway, I didn't come to talk about that either. She's my fan right here from East Meadow. So I'll tell you about what I did when I was teaching. I taught in a very tough school. Very tough school. The kids didn't just chew their pencils, they swallowed the erasers. Very tough. Teacher, how do you tell time? That's easy. How long did you have me locked in the closet yesterday? This is how I had to teach them how to read. Run, Spot, run. Dick's got a gun. Spot is a pit bull. Run, Spot, run. And those were the 10th graders. Oh my. John, I'm going to be asking questions at the end, so you have to pay attention. So, moving right along to talk about how tough the kids were. When you walk into the school building, there's the school colors, dried blood red and black and blue. You heard of carving your sweetheart's name in your desk? These kids carved their sweetheart's name in their sweetheart. Very tough kids. And I'll change the subject a little about getting older. You know, when you're getting older, you just look in the mirror and you have to make jokes because, like Linda said, you have to smile and laugh. So I'm looking in the mirror and, you know, that guy Sterling you were talking about, John?
Yes.
He's got like bags under his eyes. I have those, the same ones. Did you notice? I don't know how many of you noticed Sterling's bags. I noticed that stuff. He has these big puffy bags under his eyes, and so do I. In fact, during Hurricane Shirley, or what was her name? Hurricane Sandy. If they used these bags in the Rockaways, the F train would be running today. Unfortunately, it is running, but the joke sounds good that way, so I said it that way. Maybe you live in New Jersey and you don't know that the F train is finally running. But, you know, New York's tough, let's face it. New York's tough, and I'm changing the subject back again. We go to comedy school, we learn what not to do. I'm doing it. That's why I didn't win chips. That's why I didn't win that competition. Robin almost won. Wow, thank you. That's a compliment. I was talking about the Jews and didn't go over well. Like I said, that's what my joke is. See, that's why I didn't win. That was the joke. That's why I used it again tonight. And I'm not talking about the Jews because I learned my lesson. Thank you for not letting me win because it was a learning experience. I think I had 2 toes there and 2 toes this time. But anyway, well, you know, Jews, you know, we have to think about those things. So anyway, even though I have the pension and I got the raise, notice I'm talking about. So anyway, you could go home and say, God, it's really true about those Jews. She just proved it. So anyway, I was talking about getting older. So you look in the mirror and you have these things called varicose veins. You just wait till you see yours. When you get older, you have something to look forward to. Like John said, he used to look different, right? You said that too. So you see the varicose veins?
John, you got veins? Really?
No, he said he used to look different. So anyway, I renamed the varicose veins. Linda could relate because in a few years Linda might have one. Oh. So to relate. So anyway, as I was saying, so I have them, so I renamed the varicose veins. I named them the Roadmap to Adventure. This vein takes you to the road to nowhere, and this one takes you to the Sterling Forest. And I have to translate that for the young lady at the bar, who's the hostess tonight, and to my cinematographer here. You have the Brazilian wax, but the Sterling Forest is something that means like gray, like silver, like sterling forest. It's what we do. We don't have the Brazilian, right, Linda? Well, maybe Linda does. She met the guy on the internet. She might be having the Brazilian. What do I know? I got the hatchet murderer. Without the Brazilian, she got the Brazilian. So anyway, so then I got these things. They're laugh lines. They're not that funny. So my friend says, they're not just called laugh lines, they're also called parentheses. Oh, great, I got a run-on sentence here going on in my face. There's also another name, you have something to look forward to, East Meadow. They're called marionettes. What am I, a puppeteer? This is my face. And then you got like this one. This is a new one. I got a receding hairline. See this? You know where this hair ended up? On my knuckles. I got hair on my knuckles. And then I got the peach fuzz. You know, you go through the change, you got the peach fuzz. So I said, I'm going to take that. I'm going to make some macrame jump ropes out of that. I mean, you got to make jokes about it. Otherwise, you're going to cry. And then I used to be like thin. You know, it's easier to gain weight when you get older. So now I got the muffin top. How about a baker's dozen? Hourglass figure, about an hour and a half. So, tell you a little about something that really happened to me once when because you were talking about pot and all that, somebody was talking about marijuana. And so when I was first teaching, I was right out of college. And, you know, you're torn because you want to be hip and cool in the 60s, back in the 60s. Linda, I'm referring to our time together. So I'm at a party, and I'm almost done with college. It's May, June, and at the party they were passing out this thing called a Quaalude at the time, before the Wolf of Wall Street. So they said, you have to try it. So I didn't want to try it, but I wanted to be cool, so I took it, and I took out my Midol jar, which is not cool to have at a party. In the 60s, that's for your cramps, so for women to take for their cramps. So I opened up the Midol jar, I put the Quaalude right on top of the cotton ball, and I put it away in my pocketbook, which isn't cool to have at the party, but we had those hippie bags. So then I get a phone call to substitute teach at PS 140. That was the school. So they call me to teach. Now think about this. It's already May or June. If they can't get a teacher who didn't just finish college that week, what does that say about these kids in that school? Why are they calling me, right? So I get the call. I go in. And the kids are like ignoring me. And they walk in, they go, hey, T-Bird, what up? And I thought I was on 125th Street. I was on 125th Street. So, you know, they're not paying attention. I'm like nervous. I don't know how to teach them. So this kid was breaking the sharpener, and I just couldn't control them. And they were first graders. So I survived the morning, and the afternoon comes, and I swear I got a cramp. And I said, I got to take a Midol. I have cramps. So take out the Midols, take the pill. 20 minutes later, my fingers are tingly, and nothing bothered me anymore. I still had the cramps, but it didn't matter. So the books were piled up because it was the end of the year, and I'm bouncing off the books like I'm a human pinball machine. The kid who was breaking the sharpener, I go, look what we have here, an engineer. He's going to be an engineer. And I couldn't talk, so this one girl in the class could read. So I said, here, read Green Eggs and Ham to the class. So she takes the book, and she's one of these goody-goody, but thank God she was there and she could read. Goody two-shoes, and she goes, Sam I am. I go, stop! She's reading to the class. She's like a teacher. She goes, shut up, I'm trying to read. That killed on Broadway, that joke. So by then it was like 2:30. I didn't give them homework. I didn't put on their coats. I just said, we're out of here. And I never got called by PS 140 again. Thank you. Is that the end of my set, John?
I don't know. What's your time like?
12, almost 13 minutes.
13 minutes.
Look at you, you fucking rock star. 13.